So a lot of bother has been caused by the comments made by Graeme Souness last night on Sky, saying about that it's a man's game and that we've got our game back. Now, I've seen a lot of publications, I've seen people tweeted out all over the place on many different news websites and even footballers of the like, and I don't understand. I don't know how long this video will be, I guess for as long as it to get my point across, but people who creates a problem out of something that isn't even involved to begin with is only going to make people care about it less. This is what he said, and I quote, "We've all played the game with simulation and people throwing themselves into the ground. I haven't seen that in the 2 games today. It's a man's game all of a sudden now." Now, that is what he said, which is something that he's been saying for years. People have seen this comment and instantly linked it to the woman winning the Euros and saying that it's in spite of that, even though he's been saying this for years. And it's been something that every single football fan has been saying for decades, especially since when VAR came in. Just type up Graeme Souness, soft penalty, soft foul, etc, etc, referees, VAR, just search it up right now on Google. It will take you 5 seconds and you could see 5 different articles of him calling out players for soft challenges. For example, Graeme Souness' furious rant at James Maddison, saying that if we're given penalties for that, we're doomed. And that's just one sample of him regularly saying on Sky and all other publications, saying that the game has gone soft. Literally all that it means. Woman has got nothing to do with this situation that he's even describing here. Describing the fact that players going down too easily, simulating fouls, making comparisons compared to the rivalries we had back in the day, Sir Alex, and you have managers backing the team and fighting for them, and literally in terms, you know, for example, Jose Mourinho before in the past, back in Chelsea in 05-06, he would die for his team, that it's his team against the world. And nowadays, you see the new rivalries of the likes of Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, that it's not got that spice in the same way, it's more of a mutual respect for each other, but it's nothing aggressive that we saw back in the day. And that is the type of football and that era of football that Souness grew up in. That's literally all we meant by what he said. So by seeing footballers and female footballers that's come out pointing out at Graeme Souness, I just feel like it's more damaging for them than really anything else. Women's football has gone leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, and especially in the last year, it's been astronomical, the increase of attention it's got. People wanting to go to a game just to experience it, and it's a different feeling. My family, when they came over for my wedding 2 weeks ago, my family, my dad, my uncle, my grandma, they do not care about football. My dad has never ever cared about England unless it's the World Cup, and even then he never really cared about it. He only really watched it if I put it on, right? But he was talking to me in length about women's football, about how good it is, and like, you know, they were saying things like, oh well, isn't it nice to have, you know, one England team doing well for once, even though we made it to a final and a semi-final. I said that to him, he's like, but he doesn't care, because he cares more about women's football, because for him it's a lot more easier to get into, a lot more easier to relate with them at the same time, and I feel like they need more support, and that is true. They do need more support. More people should care about women's football, because people try to compare women's football and men's football, which is just not fair. It should be almost treated as its own kind of own sport here. And if you don't find it entertaining, then don't watch it. It's as simple as that, really. But as a person, as a father, which has a daughter, I am very excited about the future of women's football, because I'm a Burnley fan. I play football every single day. I want to get my daughter into football, and potentially when she is of age, of 16, 18, and hopefully I can get into football and she will like it herself. I won't force her, but hope that she will already like it and make my life easier. You know, take her to Burnley games, etc, etc. Then hopefully in the future for women's football there'll be a lot more availability, a lot more potential for her, opportunity to actually go be a professional footballer, because in the past it was very difficult as a woman to be in a women's sport. I saw this tweet yesterday by Bethany England, who of course was part of the women Lionesses team that won the Euro, saying, quote, "It's a man's game, quote, men at it. Get in the bin, what a disgraceful thing to say after the summit this country has just seen." Which again, I just feel like it's not exactly comparable. I don't believe myself personally, maybe you think differently, that what he said is in any way related or comparable to the women's Euro success. I don't think anything he said is in spite of that. He's not comparing it. He's just literally on about the fact that nowadays in football, it's a lot more softer. It's a lot more easier to get away with, a lot more that you wouldn't get before in the past. Diving and simulation and time wasting and rolling around. We all don't like that, men and women alike. It's not a gender-based thing. There's been many quotes of the fact, he says that, it's men v boys out there. That's a very popular quote. I just feel like it's just, my main worry is that when people see this tweet who may not be fully into the women's game, they will look at this and they will just be maybe even turned off more by it. People who are seen as, the people that just don't care about women's football, they'll look at this and it will almost further their beliefs. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this entire Graeme Souness, little beef that's going on right now. I just kind of feel like it's more damaging to people who may already have their own sort of ideas about women's football, that when they see this, it may even turn them off even more. Football is for everyone, and football should be appreciated, played, and be entertained by anyone, in any sort of walk of life. And that's the main part of all of this. Give me your thoughts down below in the comments, and now see you next time. Stay safe.